welcome to episode 29 of SOHO Insights.
Where each week we talk about the latest products, services, and trends that help your small office, home office business be more productive, efficient, and fun.
Fun. Hello, I'm Kathy.
I'm Jen, and this week's episode is about Twitter. It's a Twitterific SOHO business
We're having a Twitter fest
episode.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be giving you the what's of Twitter, so the who, what, where, when, that type of a thing for Twitter in your SOHO business. So a little bit of the backstory behind this episode is that Monday I gave a webinar to clients and to Ovaleye members. To become a member of Ovaleye, you get access to these free webinars that are on Twitter and other cloud services like online meeting space and some WordPress things. Anyway, I gave it to our members, and it was a low attendance, but the people that showed up were awesome. They asked great questions.
I think you should enjoy the low attendance right now because I think it's building.
Yeah, well, no, I enjoyed, it was Monday after Father's Day at like 10 o'clock. It was probably not the best time, but it was still really nice to have them there. But anyway, we talked about top level stuff, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today in Twitter. What?
I'm sorry, the was.
She's been laughing at me every time I say was.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
I guess this sounds kind of dumb, but whatever.
No,
you get the picture.
This is a good
episode. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be talking about the top level stuff, but it all feeds into this Twitter Get to Tweeting action plan. That's part of a social media kit. We'll be providing new web hosting clients.
Yes, go ahead. But the reason why we're doing this is because it's worked well for Ovaleye. So
yeah, no, that's why we are doing all that. A lot of our clients have asked us. It's overwhelming when you're trying to do a small office, home office business and connect your website, web conferencing, VoIP, all the services that we offer, bring it into Twitter, Facebook, etc. And so that's kind of what this kit is going to It's going to help you get started, so it doesn't feel as overwhelming.
Well, I always say it's the circle of the social media and the website and everything combined, and Twitter just kind of helps that whole circle of social media.
Yeah, Twitter's worked really well for us. We started, we've been doing this since 2008 on Twitter, but we really just got serious about it probably 10 months ago when Kelly was born, or maybe even before that.
But you have to find your voice, and it takes a little bit of time.
You have to find the right people and get interested in it. But so we use Twitter both personally and as a business.
I think we've mentioned before, though, she was saying when she would...
The Twitter Ovaleye account. Show them that.
Oh, show that.
Yeah.
But it really got started big time when Jen was in the labor room. I mean, you tweeted on the labor table, so
yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for sharing that one.
Well, I mean, it's access. It's keeping
the biggest thing, the reason
everything.
why that we're really utilizing Twitter is it's scalable. We're able to still talk to a lot of people as our business grows bigger versus just using email or even Facebook even. We're able to meet new people, connect with other people even as our business gets bigger.
My main thing that I love about Twitter, the main part of Twitter that I cannot get enough of, is that I can talk to mentors that I would never be able to talk to. They will talk to you on Twitter easily because they want the following too.
Yeah, so to get started, right now we're in the midst of a virtual road trip. It's called Virtual Road Trip. It's something we started doing last year, and we basically go to different places and meet new small businesses. But the biggest thing that we're focusing on now, it's 50 states in 50 days. And we went to Hawaii yesterday, and we went to Alaska today.
And you met new people.
We met new people, but it's weird because you don't focus geographically really anymore. And if you're in an online business, you focus to interests. But when I was looking at businesses that operate out of these two states particularly, and I think they're a little bit different because they are off of the mainland type of a deal. No, I understand Alaska is connected. Thank you very much, but it's up above.
Okay.
So anyway, they operate a little bit differently, and they have different expectations from you as far as a business from the connected United States.
I know we connect well with our little local community too, so it's nice to get out.
It's forcing us to meet new people outside of our states or the internet celebrity type people.
And I like that.
So that's what we're in the midst of, and so we're using these was in the same way that you're going to be using them. So to get started, we're going to talk first about why should my business tweet. That's a big one.
Duh.
So,
I mean, it's just like you have to get the circle of the social media, and it starts with Twitter, and it goes to Facebook.
well,
and
and
it goes to your
businesses, I don't
website.
think anymore are questioning why they should be on Twitter, but the biggest thing that you have to look at as a business is deciding what your tweeting objective is. And in doing that, we have 3 different ones that we're really looking at ourselves at, as Ovaleye. The first one is networking, the second one is nurturing your sales cycle, and the third one is increasing your exposure. But the biggest one, apart from those 3 that have really helped our business, is just by listening.
Listening is a huge part of Twitter, I think, because you get to hear all the great, those big voices out there, and you see how they work.
Potential clients, all sorts of great, awesome stuff. I mean, I've sent emails out with screen captures of conversations that have happened, and that's really, it's shaped the way that we do business. And so listening is very important, and it's not something you should ignore.
Networking, though, is my number one thing.
Gaining contacts, finding prospects, increasing your referral cycle. And these are all things that we'll be talking about in that action plan.
I don't know if we actually talked, we put this on the agenda tonight, but Twitter chat. Last night we were chatting while we were all eating family dinner.
Part of networking. It's just like as if you were at a cocktail party that was structured in an hour. So Twitter chats, if you're not familiar with it, maybe we'll do a blog post on it later, but otherwise you should look at it more. It's really fun. Yeah. So the next thing to look at is what should I be tweeting about as a business?
I have a hard time with this.
And that is the biggest thing that business owners ask me is, what should I even be tweeting about? What do people want to hear? I don't want to tweet about my lunch. I'm like, well,
I don't want to hear about your lunch.
No, but maybe I love hearing about some people's lunch, especially fitness professionals or nutrition people, and they post pictures of their food.
Actually, Jamie had a great, did you see that? Her blended fruit drink. I wanted one of those.
Yeah, so it's part of the bigger picture of who you are and what your audience wants to be looking at. But if you're really worried about it, what we recommend and what we've done ourselves is to create a list of items and then gather resources. So being prepared.
Yes,
all of this is just about being prepared.
And we have everything listed on how and when and
so the tips is the first one, and that's use any text editor and just write down different tips. We do ones where we do a hashtag, and if you don't know what hashtags are,
boy, you need to go
look
to
into it a little bit more.
Monday.
But hashtags are web hosts, like we do host with Ovaleye or different things like that, and we have them all prepared. Resources, add a folder if you're using a particular browser, create a folder within the bookmark area of keeping different blogs that you want to share, or maybe utilizing a Google Reader or something like that. Blog11 is another good one, where you're basically pooling resources that you can then share with your community. And the third one is just to find the right people that you can retweet that other people might find interesting.
The people, too, is very important, because a lot of people just follow people for the heck of it. A lot of those Twitter handles can be just like robots or something. You have to really see who you're following. It's a big thing, I think.
So the last piece is to engage. That's the one thing that I think people miss, is it's a cocktail party. So just find people and start talking to them. Ask them questions, see how their day is going, little things like that. That's just small talk that you're making with people to build relationships.
I think that's a huge part of Ovaleye and how we've connected with many new clients because of that.
The next piece, the next is when. When will I have time to tweet, and when should I tweet?
I will say a little story over the weekend. Jen was out of the way. She was camping with her family, and she made me do the tweets over the weekend because we had a schedule too. She has them all scheduled. And we were doing Father's Day blogs and tweets, and she had them perfectly aligned. I mean, they were just wonderfully organized. And I think if you're going out of town, you can still tweet those little plan ahead things she's going to talk about right now.
Yeah, so planning ahead is important, and scheduling tweets is part of that. Having the right tools. So the tools you're going to want to look at as far as, and this is not even talking about scheduling. It's just talking about if you're out and you want to tweet, being able to be part of the conversation. So the tools are, you need to think about having with your desktop, your smartphone, and having some type of information hub. And that's information hub, I mean by like Ovaleye Exchange, which we offer our clients. And there you're able to pool all of your resources together. So you have email, Facebook, Twitter, all in one space where you can actually utilize those contacts and share them within your group.
The only thing about the smartphone is if you have more than one account, you have to make sure you tweet from the right account, because I've done that a couple
You just have to
times.
find the right tool that works for you, and obviously the Twitter app does not work for my mother.
So we have Hootsuite now.
Yeah, so the next one is with planning ahead is just people. Knowing when your people that you want to tweet with are present.
Boy, they were present. I mean, they're present 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. You just need to start tweeting, learn to love it, and make it a habit within your life, and
I
just
love
adjust. Because you know what? It's free, and you don't have to travel anywhere. And if anything, you should feel really lucky that we have something like this available to us to grow our businesses.
Well, a lot of stores out there, they don't, I mean, those 7-day stores that stay open 7 days a week, they don't have time to go out and network. Well, this is a perfect solution for you. You should be tweeting.
Yeah, so the next one is where do I listen, engage, and promote from, and that's another big one. I'm busy, I'm not always at my desk, and you have to realize that when you're at your busiest, some of your best tweets happen, or some of your best connections happen.
And the happiest moments too, I love
Yeah, so when you're busy at your desk working on a project, you're sharing them, maybe if you're a graphic designer, you're sharing the work that you've done and saying, oh, this is stage 1 of this logo, or whatever it is. You're able to make some great connections in that way. Also, if you're out at an event, utilizing the event
Taking those
hashtag, taking
pictures.
photos,
Yes.
you're able to make more connections in that way too. So just being flexible, that's the biggest thing. Being flexible if you're out and about, just doing it. If you're busy with your kid, just doing it, that type of a thing. And there's a lot of arguments of whether or not that becomes it hurts the relationships of when you're in person with someone. But you know what? It's 140 characters. How much time are you really going to be spending on sending one little tweet out?
I don't think it's anything.
Yeah, so the next one is who should be tweeting within my business, and who should I be tweeting to? That's another big question, and it's understanding who your audience is and what they expect from you is one of the biggest ways that this is going to help in creating a plan. Who should be tweeting in my business? We have a joint account.
And then we have our separate, and I finally have Kathy K. Nelson. I'm very happy about that because it took us how many years to get that sucker.
Yeah, so joint account is really nice for Mom and I, and we'll probably always keep it that way. It's personable, and it's a way for us to connect with our clients still. The one person responsible, so either it's yourself if you're a solopreneur, or maybe you hire somebody to do social media, that type of a thing, or you have a huge team. You could have everyone within your organization tweeting.
Actually, I think it's a good idea. The more the merrier.
Yeah, but you have to consider the voice within your business, and that's the next point. Making sure that your voice is consistent. Don't have a 12-year-old kid tweeting for you, or even an 18-year-old kid.
Well,
if
follow
you're
a
targeting
couple.
a more mature audience.
Yeah, I follow a couple young ones, and they don't say the right things right now. So yes, you have to. 18 and under. I'm not sure if they should be tweeting too much for your business.
Yeah. So the next one is how do I figure out being on Twitter while working in and on my business, and that's the biggest one. Like, how? I don't understand. That's where the overwhelming thing gets into, and having the plan is really important. So you have to manage your time by scheduling in Twitter, especially from the beginning. I still do it. I still schedule in times, and it's easy now. It becomes much more natural for me. If I don't tweet within the last hour, I feel anxious. So I think it becomes more natural over time. But creating a plan and then scheduling in time is important. So the next thing you're going to want to figure out is how this all plays into your larger content strategy, your social media strategy. So that's, when I say social media, I mean Facebook and Biznick or LinkedIn, whatever other networks that you're in. How does that play into it?
Well, that's this part. I do have a pet peeve about this. If you're just going to do Facebook, which is fine because you're getting used to Twitter. A lot of people
At least you have
start.
a presence on
Yes,
Twitter.
you have a presence. But engage. Always engage. Don't just put that on the Facebook and then let it go to Twitter all the time. You need to engage with your
To be effective in
I
using
think
it.
so.
So, and then making sure that it fits within your marketing strategy. I'm talking about with marketing strategy as a bigger picture, brochures, signage, events, things like that. So just having a plan is really important. So that was some when it comes to Twitter and having that work within your business. But definitely check out our virtual road trip. It's over at ovaleye.com on our blog, which is ovaleye.com/blog. We are visiting the rest
Every
of the
state.
50 states over the next 50 days. You can make
Who's
sure that you
next?
can
Do you
hold us
remember?
accountable, making sure that we go to each state every day.
Alaska's next, right?
No, we're in Alaska today.
Oh, we're in Alaska today.
Which,
sorry.
by the way, look at Alaska feeds, gorgeous photos. Same with Hawaii, especially if you're using Instagram, gorgeous.
Oh, very nice.
So anyway,
Well, this has been a Twitter fest of a night tonight, and we tape late at night. This is Kathy and Jen with Ovaleye.com, and we will see you next week. We are going to Seth Godin's big Seattle chat on Friday, so I want to dedicate the next insights to Seth Godin. He's like a rock star to me, so till next week, we'll see you next week, and